Good morning, everyone. Good morning. What a great day it is to be a Ram. Just in case you guys were wondering, this doesn't happen every day here at Riverdale, so this is a pretty exciting day for us. My name is Ron Jacobs. I'm the superintendent here at Riverdale. Riverdale community is very excited that everyone has taken the time to come and be with us today, and I'm so glad to see that so many of you came out. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Governor Bruce Rauner. You know, Governor, it doesn't take much to get high school kids excited, especially when they're not sitting in the classroom. So, in all seriousness, before everyone sits down, I ask that before we get started this morning, I think it's important that we not forget the significance of this day, December 7th, the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. Please stand with me and join the Riverdale High School pep band in the playing of the national anthem. Please have a seat, everyone. I don't know about anybody else in the room. I'm ready to strap the helmet on and get out on the football field after hearing that. I just need to take a deep breath and settle down. I'm just too excited. You know, I thought I wanted to start this morning by recognizing all of our state and local elected officials, community and union partners, local business leaders, and more. But that's just simply not going to be possible today based on the gathering that I saw out in the hallway, excuse me. But I would like to take a moment to welcome just a few of our elected officials that are with us this morning. Leader Christine Radonio, if you'd please stand. Welcome. Senator Neil Anderson. Representative Bob Rita. Representative Mike Smitty. Representative Ed Sullivan. Representative Don Moffitt. And a representative we're sure to miss in this area was he's chosen to retire, but Representative Pat Verschoor, thank you. We're extremely honored to have so many supporters of this bill here today, so thank you everyone for taking the time to come out this morning. Before I hand the microphone over to Ms. Barney, I want to add a quick personal note, one that I've made it a point to share with both legislators and media sources every chance I could over the past several months. This piece of legislation is about families that live in our communities, work in this community, but most importantly, give back to this community in so many ways. These are our Little League coaches, our Girl Scout leaders, and classroom volunteers. They are an extremely important part of our school community and the school communities around us. So thank you to those in this room that made this legislation happen. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce and welcome to the stage Ms. Tara Barney from the Quad City Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tara Barney. I work for all of you. I couldn't be more pleased to be here in this room today with families and the Exelon staff and team and all of you leaders in this community and all of the leaders statewide that came together to make this day possible. And Governor, thank you for being here to help us. Really thank you for the great work that the state of Illinois did to make sure that this community and the greater Quad Cities can really thrive. And this is a great day for us. It's the Christmas present we've all been waiting for, I'll say that. But I will also say in all seriousness that in the work we do in economic development and economy building, having this stability and this transformative piece of legislation, and one that is so impactful, is an extraordinary piece of work by all that were involved. So I am very thrilled to have a chance to thank you on behalf of everyone in this room. And frankly, I've gotten so many phone calls from neighbors and lawyers and individuals that called me and thanked me, and I told them to call all of you that are sitting here that actually took the action to make this happen, because while the Quad Cities Chamber of Commerce is deeply engaged in this work, and we have been using Facebook and other strategies to make sure that the broader community understands what this conversation has all been about, we know that some extraordinary work was done by leaders in this room right now, and we are proud to work with you and to have you working on our behalf. So I want to thank you all right up front. I also want to make a more specific point because you're going to hear about the number of jobs involved in this. For us, we look at it as the number of jobs beyond those that are working at the plants and in the immediate supply chain, because there are so many businesses in the Quad Cities that have a huge line of work in supporting different aspects. And I'm looking at Valley Construction and Shabler Industries, Life Systems. I could read a long list of the businesses that have a path toward continuing to serve this great industry because of the actions that were taken last week. This ensures the viability of our most sacred institutions, our schools, certainly our county. I'm looking at the Rock Island County leadership, and I know that I am speaking on your behalf when I say thank you to everyone for this action. But I would not be up here without taking 1 second to very specifically thank Leader Radonio, thank Senator Anderson, Pat Bashore. You're going to keep working for this community. But we're not letting you off the hook just because you've elected to retire. But Mike Smitty, Moffett, we are thrilled to work with you every day, and it's so grand to have this day to share with you all. So thank you all for the work you do, and it came together because we had great support from our colleagues in the trades and in labor and in all parts of the state of Illinois. So for the work that's going to come out of this that will stabilize utility rates, stabilize our community, and mostly stabilize the lives and the economy of the greater Quad Cities region, I'm very appreciative to say not just thank you, but great work. We're going to be working with you to make sure that this has impact. Our job is to be in the trenches, my colleagues, and to make sure we're doing everything we can to build the Illinois economy. So we've all got work to do, and we've all got a part of using this opportunity to do lots more good work in making sure that we've got prosperity and opportunities for all in the great state of Illinois. So it's a pleasure to be here, and thanks for the opportunity to say a few words.
Next, I'd like to welcome to the stage Mr. Dave Collada from the Citizens Utility Board, Executive Director. Welcome.
Thank you, everyone. My name is David Collada, and I'm the Executive Director of the Citizens Utility Board. Let me start by thanking the Governor, the leaders, the sponsors, and the General Assembly for their strong leadership on this issue. This was a very long road with negotiations on most parts of the bill that lasted nearly 2 years. That's inevitable, I think, when you're dealing with an issue this important and this complex. And make no mistake, the bill we ended up with, the Future Energy Jobs Bill, is good for consumers, it's good for the environment, it's good for jobs, and it's good for the people of the state of Illinois. Because of the Future Energy Jobs Bill, Illinois will be a national leader in the clean energy economy. Take energy efficiency as just one example. For a consumer point of view, nothing is more important than efficiency. It's one of the keys to keeping rates reasonable going forward. Well, Illinois will now have either the first or second best law in the country on efficiency, and this will save consumers at least $4 billion by 2030. That's a big deal, and it's because of the Future Energy Jobs Bill. Also because of the bill, not only will we preserve thousands of jobs at the nuclear plants, but we also create thousands more new jobs through investments in renewables and efficiency and the green technology sector. And that's a big deal too. And finally, because of the Future Energy Jobs Bill, consumer bills will be lower than they would have been if the bill didn't become law. And that's a very important point that often gets lost. Bills will be lower because the cost of the nuclear program with its added consumer protections is less than the costs that would have, or the price increases that would have occurred if the nuclear plants closed. And bills will be less because of the historic investment in energy efficiency that will provide money-saving opportunities for all consumers and lower market prices. So this is a good bill. It's good for consumers, it's good for the environment, and it's good for jobs. To conclude, speaking for the Illinois Clean Jobs Coalition, of which we are a member, we are really proud of the outcome and the role we played in helping to bring it about. There are many, many people in the room here. These were tough negotiations, fair negotiations. I think it's politics at its best. You know who you are, but you also deserve great credit, and I personally appreciate it. And on a personal note, let me say I know how much the Quad Cities nuclear plant means to the community and the state. So let me say that I couldn't be happier that we found a fair solution that keeps them open. Thank you very much.
I want to give you just a little bit of background about myself. I've been in this district for 22 years, and I started my career as a middle school principal. And when you're tolling around in the hallways of a middle school, and you're hitting a coffee as hard as you can in the morning, and you're watching these kids bounce up and down the hallways and against the walls, you only hope that you're producing someone, and some of them are really going to turn out to be something. And folks, we've had several of them. But I want to introduce one of them to you right now. Our next speaker, Mr. Drew Griffiths, Riverdale alumni, plant employee.
Well, that was a hell of an intro, Ron. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Drew Griffiths. I'm a senior reactor operator and an operations supervisor at Quad City Station. And for the record, this speech is by far harder than running that power plant. At least for me, anyway. So I was a bit overwhelmed when I was asked to speak today because I was trying to figure out what I could possibly say that would do justice to the 800-plus employees of the plant and the entire community that would capture the feelings of the last few years. So I'll keep it short. I think that probably someone I work with. I think we can all agree this is personal. For me, this is personal because it's not only about my job, it's about my home. In fact, the last time I was in this gym was when I was graduating from this high school in 2005. And if you went outside, you can see my childhood home just a half-mile away, where my mom and dad raised my sister and I. And when I went away to college, I didn't expect to come back. But when I was given an opportunity to join the incredible team at the plant and to do the hard work with so many of my coworkers that are here today, of keeping the lights on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, I felt compelled to return. Because what we do at this plant is important. It's important to the Quad Cities, and it's important to the people of Illinois. So it's been a very, very personal few years, as it has been for all of you, waiting to hear whether or not we'd be forced to watch our jobs, our community, and our homes wither away. But, that's behind us now. And today we can celebrate as a personal victory. It's a victory because people on both sides of the aisle joined forces to do something good for the economy, good for the environment, and good for the community. So it is with much gratitude on behalf of all of the employees at the plant that I say thank you. Thank you, Governor Rauner. Thank you to the many state representatives and senators that listened, learned, and supported our cause. Thank you to the businesses, the labor, the environmental coalition, and the scores of excellent employees that made today happen. But mostly, thank you, the community, my home, for making this happen by making your voices heard. There are truly not enough words and not enough time today to give enough thank yous for what today represents, because this is a very personal day and a very personal victory for all of us to celebrate. Thank you.
I'm here to tell you he could have made that same speech when he was 14. That's how confident we were of Drew. Next, I'd like to invite to the stage Senator Neil Anderson.
Thank you. There it goes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. This is, they told me I had 2 minutes, which isn't enough to explain the last 2 years. I've been fortunate enough when I was first elected to be put on the Energy and Public Utilities Committee in the Senate. So I've been a part of this bill from its infancy, and I can't tell you how great it's been being a part of the negotiations over the past 2 years and seeing this form into to what it is and coming to fruition today. I want to start out by saying to the employees, over the past 2 years, taking multiple tours of the facility, a lot of you guys have become like family to me, and during one of my tours, I was given this challenge coin with the 800 strong on it. And through every committee, through every meeting, whether it's a phone call or in person, I've had this coin with me. And when I talked about this bill on the Senate floor the other night, I had this coin in my pocket. And it really became a personal issue for me, and I could not be happier for all of you here today, and could not be happier for the 800. With that being said, I want to give credit where credit's due. First off, to the Quad Cities Chamber, Tara Barney, Henry Marquardt, thank you for all the work you've done. Could not have done it without you. The Quad Cities labor organizations, Rory Washburn, Dean Apple, you guys have done an extraordinary job. Thank you for being a part of this. Also to our business community. Our businesses were huge in this. Had a couple of our local business leaders down in Springfield the day before the vote. Aaron Tennant, Greg Hass, thank you guys for being down there and helping me out with whipping some votes down there. And also, folks at the Exelon plant, you do not know how fortunate you are to have a guy like Bill Stormer. There is not a guy that is more passionate and more responsible for anything we've done down in Springfield than Bill Stormer. I cannot thank him enough, and I want to say thank you more than anybody to the 800 employees. Without you guys, we would not be here. With the time you took coming down to Springfield, lobbying all of the legislators, the passion you show, it is you guys that have made this happen. And I can't thank you enough. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for allowing me to serve. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Anderson. Next, I'd like to have you help me welcome to the stage Representative Bob Rita.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm a little far outside my district. I'm the House sponsor to Senate Bill 2814. And let me... I won't be long, but let me take a moment. When this process began, we started with 3 different pieces of legislation. So I'd like to thank Representative Elaine Neckeritz and Larry Walsh and myself. Them were the 3 bills that we have here today in Senate Bill 2814 with the final product. It was over 2 years of negotiation with many stakeholders, and it was a long 2 years to come up with what we have today. Our goals was to protect the jobs and keep the plants open in Quad Cities and Clinton. Today, with the signing, and thank you for the governor going to sign this bill, we're going to meet that goal, protecting jobs, creating jobs for the state of Illinois. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Rita. Next, I'd like to welcome Christine Radogno.
Well, thanks. Could we have a few more days like these, please? This is good. We don't often get greeted with a band and cheerleaders. This is a happy day indeed. I'm Chris Radogno. I'm the Senate Republican leader, and I wanted to be here today because I knew that Senator Anderson, who represents this area, would be his usual gracious self and thank everybody in this room that had so much to do with this bill. And he is right on. But he didn't thank himself adequately. Senator Anderson got on the Energy Committee as soon as he was elected and immediately dived into this bill. And let me tell you, he dragged lots of legislators out to tour the plant. I'm now on a first-name basis with some of the higher-ups at the plant, which is a good thing. He relentlessly talked about this bill and this community and what it would mean during those 2 years. And in fact, it was almost somewhat humorous during the last 2 weeks of veto session. You could not talk to Senator Anderson without having this issue raised. And of course, the big joke was he would whip open his breast pocket in which he had the roll call, which he would always whip out. So he was constantly working this bill, and I wanted to be sure everybody knew how hard he worked on behalf of this community. Thank you, Senator Anderson. So with that, many of the good aspects of this bill have already been mentioned. I think in general there was a lot of drama surrounding the passage of the bill, but as many big issues that we've dealt with in Springfield before as they happen, there's a lot of drama around the passage. But when it's passed, and this is good public policy, good for the environment, good for jobs, good for the electric rates in the state, which is one of our best assets in this state. It's a good piece of legislation. So again, I want to thank all of you for being here, but let me make one request. Please don't go away. You've got the bill that was critically important to this community, but now you know how powerful you can be. We have a big job left in Springfield. We're working on it right now, and that is to get our budget done with some fundamental reforms for this state. You guys can be behind us in that too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Radogno. At this time, it's my distinct pleasure and privilege to introduce Mr. Chris Crane, CEO of Exelon.
Could not have come up with a better venue for this celebration. It is a great day for Quad Cities, for the economy of Illinois, and most importantly, the entire region around us. The Future Energy Bill is a landmark bill. It expands clean energy. It puts energy resources on a level playing field. It maintains the competitive rates that we have in the state. It preserves and creates thousands of jobs for the future. It promotes investment in technology that support the environment and our economic growth. And it responds to the priorities of our customers. Clean, reliable, affordable energy. And that's what all the employees of the Exelon companies strive to do every day. It makes Illinois a leader in cost-effective, innovative production and distribution of clean energy, and the energy leadership role that we all provide to our communities has been earned hard. Quad City Station has a positive impact, as we've heard, every day on the community around us. And thanks to the Future Energy Jobs Bill, that will continue for many years to come. There are many organizations and individuals to thank. The partnership of the Clean Jobs Coalition did a fantastic job coming together at the beginning of this. There were so many interests that came to the table over the last 2 years to be able to negotiate to the point we are today is in large support of the Clean Jobs Coalition. I want to thank the four legislative leaders, Speaker Madigan, Leader Jim Durkin, Senate President John Cullerton, and Christine Radono, as we've heard from today. It was a bipartisan process, and that's what we want to see more and more in our state. I also want to thank the sponsors and the leaders that couldn't be here with us today. Senator Donnie Trotter, Kimberly Lightfoot, Representative Larry Walsh, who I said cannot be here today, but Bob Rita, Representative Bob Rita here, thank you very much for your leadership on this. It's greatly appreciated. I also want to thank numerous co-sponsors of the legislation and want to recognize the folks that helped. We've heard from Senator Neela Anderson, and fantastic work. We really appreciate that. Pat Vershaw, Representative Pat Vershaw, Representative Smidley, thank you very much. Representative Eddie Sullivan, and Representative Mike Trione. It's been fantastic. The local community organizations, we've heard from some already, and we've got the recognition. The Quad Cities Chamber of Commerce is the benchmark for a chamber, and we really appreciate the support that you've been able to provide and bring the community together. Greg Haas from Valley Construction, Sue Haybell from the Cordova Library, Brad Cox from the Area School District, and Aaron Tenton from Total Solutions. Organized labor was a huge part of this in helping us bring this to fruition. I want to thank Mike Kerrigan from AFL-CIO, Dean Apple, Billy Phillips from Local 15. Great job keeping everybody pulled together. Roy Washburn from the Quad Cities Building Trades, and all the other union representatives that are here today. It's greatly appreciated. I also want to acknowledge our co-owner at the plant, Exelon's co-owner with Mid-America. That was great support, and we appreciate the relationship we've had and the support that you've given us over this period. I really am especially proud of all of you here wearing the badges, the Exelon employees and your families. The work that you have done over this period of time to get the word out on what the plant means not only to the environment, to the economy, but to the engine of the state. And despite all the personal uncertainty, I remember getting a call about one of your coworkers that heard the announcement and said, I think I got to go somewhere else, I'm too young. Getting people to stay, getting people to work, getting people to focus. During all this period of uncertainty, you kept job one in mind, safe, reliable operations of that facility, and for that, I thank you very much. You are the best. And I also thank you all for your acknowledgement for Bill Stormer. He is just a fantastic guy. First thing this morning when I woke up, it was another email from Bill, and he stays on the job constantly. So thank you, Bill. So this legislation could not have taken place without the leadership of Governor Rauner and his professional staff. And want to thank Richard Goldberg, Jason Heffley, and Rob Stefanski for the work that they did and the hours that were put in. We've got a lot of the Exelon team here that were on the ground negotiating, the teams from the legislative organizations and the administration. There were many, many hours put in, hard work, good debates, done in a positive fashion, and I can't thank everybody enough. But last but not least, Governor, you took our calls, you listened to us, you did your job, you protected the residents of the state, you made sure you held us accountable. And we look forward to working with you and continuing to bring the business back to Illinois and get Illinois back on its feet. So thank you very much. And with that, I'll introduce our Governor, Bruce Rauner.
Thank you, thank you. It's a great day for the people of Illinois. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you, every one of you. Thank you. Great day for the people of Illinois. Thank you. Thank you. This is about you today. It's about you today. You know what? It is great to be back here in the Riverdale schools. I've been here before, and I'll be back again. everything I do as governor, everything we do as elected officials, everything we do to lead our state is about our children and our grandchildren so they can have a better future. Let's hear it for the Rams. Let's hear it for the Riverdale schools. Thank you. And it's a blessing for us to be in this school. There is no more important work, no more important job in America than being a teacher and being a good teacher. Only thing right up there is being a good parent. Let's hear it for the teachers here at Riverdale High School and all across Illinois. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. We are fighting every day for a better future for the people of Illinois. This bill, this bipartisan compromise to come together accomplishes exactly that. Nothing more important than protecting and growing good paying jobs. Not minimum wage jobs, good paying jobs with a good future. That's what this bill does, protect and grow good paying jobs for the people of Illinois. And I especially want to thank, Steve calls you the 800, I call you the hard-working men and women of Illinois. Members of the IBEW, members of laborers, members of AFL-CIO, the hard-working men and women, the families, the backbone of Illinois, the backbone of America. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your patriotism and your commitment. I appreciate you very much. It's an honor for me to work for you. It's an honor for me to work for every one of you. Now, let me tell you, this bill was tough. There was a lot of fighting going on and a lot of different points of view, and a lot of people didn't want this bill to happen. Believe me, I heard from them, big time. There was a lot of disagreement. A lot of people said, get the government out of business, get the government out of playing corporate favors, getting the government out of energy policy. Well, you know what? The simple fact is, the government in America is heavy, heavy into energy policy. Heavy, heavy. It ain't going away. It ain't changing. And what I refuse to do, I'm a free market guy. I don't want government in things. But you know what? I refused to gamble on thousands of good paying jobs. I refuse to gamble on the future of the communities in the Quad Cities in central Illinois. And I refuse to gamble on the energy diversity and options for the people of Illinois. That's why I fought to make sure this bill happened. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now this shows what we can do when we come together on a bipartisan basis. These things are hard. You know what? Taking on big challenges is difficult. But this shows what we can do when we put partisan differences aside and come together and try to do the right thing for the long term. That's what we need more of. This sets a tone. I think this sets an example of good performance, good work on behalf of all the people of Illinois. And we can take this good, positive step and move forward now to get truly balanced budgets for the people of Illinois, get proper funding, more school funding for the people of Illinois, so we could have the best schools in America in every community, in every neighborhood. We want the best schools in America for our kids and our grandkids in every neighborhood, in every community throughout the state. And that means more resources, especially to our smaller school districts, our rural school districts, our lower income school districts. Illinois has been failing for decades to give proper resources to our teachers and our students in the classroom. And we're going to change it on a bipartisan basis. We're going to transform the way schools are funded in the state of Illinois. And this bill helps us take a step towards doing that. This, along with restoring Illinois' competitiveness. I'm a competitive son of a gun. And you know what? It frosts me no end when our jobs are moving over to Iowa. Our jobs are moving up to Wisconsin. Our jobs are moving to Indiana. Our jobs are moving to Tennessee. Our jobs are moving to Texas. And you know what? No more. It's a new day in Illinois. We are going to compete for the jobs of America. We got the hardest working people in America. We got the hardest working people in America. And hundreds of them are right here in this room today with us. And you know what? We want you to have more future, better future, more jobs, more opportunity for you and your families. That's what we're fighting for, to get bipartisan compromise, restore the competitiveness of Illinois, restore the cost of living of Illinois, keep the cost of living reasonable, get the government off the backs, stop with the unfunded mandates, the over-regulation, the restrictions, high taxes, property taxes that are crushing our working families and our small business owners. Get the government off people's backs. Let the people of Illinois thrive. Your hard work ethic, along with great schools, we're going to kick some tails. And I tell you what, we're going to get a balanced budget. We're going to get reforms that help you get a better quality of life for your families. And then I'm going to Texas, I'm going to Tennessee, I'm going to Indiana, I'm going to Mexico and Germany and Canada, and I'm bringing those jobs right back here to the Quad Cities and right back here in the state of Illinois. And we're going to restore the pride and the prosperity for the state of Illinois. God bless you all, everybody. Thank you. God bless you. Congratulations. Thank you. All right, we're going to sign the bill now. This is the big moment. Now, this is one of the most important life skills I've acquired as governor. I can sign my name with 12 different pens. And that's what I'm going to try to do. 1 pen per letter. So we can hand out the pens to the students and to as many people as possible. This bill is for all of you and all the people of Illinois. So let's go.
Thank you very much, everybody.